people must prove to the people a better day is coming.
Right, bondage. We came over here in bondage. I know, I agree. We are still in bondage. But that is how we know that we the Israelites. Did the so-called Jews over there go to slavery on slave ships at any time in their life? At any time in history did the so-called white man ever go into slavery on slave ships?
No.
Yeah.
He did? When did he go?
When he was having sex with baby. He was kind of in slavery too.
You said that.
To me, they was kind of in slavery.
No, not to, no, they like, did they get whipped with whips? Did they get put in chains? Did they get put on slave ships and then they go into another land and have to work as slaves? The white man did. When did this happen, sis?
Sometime like when they was getting caught with our women and stuff like that.
What? That never happened.
Yes, it did.
That never happened.
To me, they was kind of in slavery.
No, were they in, like, did they get whipped with whips? Did they get put in chains? Did they get put on slave ships and then they go into another land and have to work as slaves? The white man did. When did this happen, sis?
Sometime like when they was getting caught with our women and stuff like that.
What? That never happened.
Yes, it did.
That never happened. What we out here teaching our people is that they are the Israelites. Matter of fact, y'all come over here and look and see where tribe you're from. Y'all, everybody can. Jason, what's your baby mama names? Alize. Come on, Alize. Come on, James. Y'all come and look and see what tribe you're from. You Benjamin. You Jamaican?
Virgin Islands.
Okay, Virgin Islands. All praises. Your father's from the Virgin Islands or your mom? Both of them. So you Benjamin. Where your father from, sis? Alize, where your father from? Huh? What'd she say? I can't hear. Texas. Okay, so he's from America, right? What about you, Jason? America, right. So that means y'all from the tribe of Judah. What about you, sis? America. So your father's from the tribe of Judah. These are the things that you're not being taught in history class or in the church, but it's in the Bible. Why is the church not teaching you this? That's what we out here teaching. Our people who they are according to the Bible. Because for so long we haven't known. So, go to Joel chapter 3. I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, you had a question. What was the question?
So how you know which one? Who was born? I don't know.
How we know was where and who was who?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and go to Genesis 49.
Bring it out.
Reason why we know is because the dream that Jacob had, which his name was turned to Israel, explains where the tribes are going to be in the last day. That's one thing that you're not. That's another thing that you're not taught. See, the beginning and the end all say the same thing. God declared the end of what was going to happen all the way in Genesis. So go to 49 verse 1 first.
Yes, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
See, now we're in the last day, so a lot of things, I'm going to be real, a lot of these things did not happen back then, so they couldn't identify who is it talking about. So find Benjamin. Because I'm going to do this for James. Yeah. And then I'm going to find Judah, so I can show the American blacks why we know that they're Jews.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf in the morning, and he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil.
Right. So, do you know anything about the Maroons?
Yeah.
What are the Maroons?
The warriors.
The warriors. Explain a little bit of the history to me.
Well, they were warriors up in the mountains.
Right. And where were they living at?
In the mountains.
And they were at what area?
Up in the hill.
In the Virgin Islands. This is the point I'm making. Yeah. That's why we know that y'all Benjamin. Keep going. Talk about the warriors.
Well, all I know is they were warriors.
Right. They were warriors. Who did they fight against?
White man.
White man. And they won, right? They almost won, but then they lost at the end, right? The word maroon means wolf. Oh. Read that again.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
That's why we know that Benjamin is in the Virgin Islands. Because the Maroons that fought against the white man, he just said it. He's going to have his prey in the daytime. Read it again.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil.
Right. So this is why we know that you are the Virgin Islands are Benjamin, because the Maroons were in the Virgin Islands fighting against the so-called white man. That's the prey that it's talking about. See, when you read, he gave us clues, but he couldn't give us the words today because the words today have changed. He couldn't say you're going to be in the Virgin Islands fighting against the white man. He didn't know it was going to be called the Virgin Islands. But he said you were going to be a raven wolf fighting against the prey. And the only reason why we know it was the Maroons is because we found out the word Maroons mean wolf. So this is how we know that you're from the tribe of Benjamin. So unfortunately, Jason and his baby mama had to go because she talked to him in his ear and told him she wanted to go. You know, it's sad. But a lot of our people are going to get dragged away into death because y'all don't understand what's coming. World War III is coming, and it's in the Bible.
Right.
And it's going to happen. You ain't going to stop it. And it's going to be bombs all over America. That is not going to change. A lot of y'all heard the lake of fire growing up in Christian church, but you don't know the lake of fire is talking about America being melted by all the bombs that's going to hit it. And that's why we out here. We trying to show you who you are through the Bible and warn you that a World War III is coming. So you got other things to do in your life, go ahead and do them. But guess what? You're going to die because you won't repent. So give me Judah. Hold up, I'm gonna show the sisters that we know how we know we Judah.
Okay.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Okay, give me Deuteronomy 33. I'm gonna explain that part right there. So it says a lion's whelp, and it says that he how did he say it? He starts it's going into, hold up, go back to that. Okay.
Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion.
So it says he's going up. When it's talking about he is going up, it's talking about when we were fighting against oppression in the early 1900s after slavery.
Black Panther.
We were going up. We were fight. We were uniting. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Black Panthers, everything. All the movements were with the black people. If you notice the history, all the fights against oppression were the American blacks. But then what happened? Read.
Thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
So he got complacent. He started getting comfortable with the conditions of America. So that's when he says he stooped down. And it says, who shall rouse him up? Meaning, who gonna wake back up the black man and tell him, you Judah? So go to Deuteronomy 33. Same thing.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people.
So Moses is praying that the Most High God hears the voice of Judah because we were the first ones to wake up. If you notice, you don't see people in South, you don't see everybody in South America on the corners talking about we the Israelites. You don't see that everywhere. You saw it first in America, and now it's starting to spread because we were the first tribe to wake up. Let's prove that. Hold that. You can drop Genesis and give me Zechariah 12 and 8. To show you that Judah was going to be the first ones to wake up. That's always been like that. That's why Christ went to the Jews first. We always are going to be the first ones to wake up. There's order to how God does everything.
Right.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
So this is the reason why the Jews, the American blacks, wake up first. The American blacks, the West Indies, and the Haitians are going to be the first ones to wake up because we were the Jews back then. And the first tribe, the head tribe of the Jews is Judah. But back then you were called the Jews because you lived in Jerusalem, and the only three tribes that lived in Jerusalem was Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. The Levites is the Haitians, the West Indians is Benjamin, and American blacks is Judah. So that's the reason why we the first ones to wake up knowing that we Israel. That's why when you was growing up, you heard so many reggae songs about Zion, the lion, but they didn't know that they was Benjamin. They just knew that they were Israel. We had to come and show them, look, you Benjamin. You knew you was an Israelite, but now you got to start keeping the commandments. We were the first ones that was going to wake up. That's why you see us doing it first. This is Bible prophecy coming and being fulfilled. So, keep reading.
The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
Go back to Deuteronomy 33. I'm sorry.
Do Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou an help to him from his enemies.
And be a help to him from his enemies. I wanted to get to the point where he said you'll be living in the neck. Go back to Genesis 49. It said he'll be living in the neck of the enemies. Sister, you got questions?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, sis.
I just never heard that in my life.
That's why we out here. And if you got questions, I'm answering for you, sis. Don't worry. I'm just answering how you know you Judah. I'm just showing y'all right now how we know the American blacks are the Jews, or Judah.
I appreciate the knowledge, but I'm going to get ready to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So, what was your question you had, sis, before you
I
go?
was just asking them, like, why y'all Jews? It's not right for the Jews, so I was
You say, are we Jews? Okay, so, let me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What's the word Egypt mean, sis? What's your name? Demetra? What's Egypt mean, Demetra? Exactly. Give me Exodus 20 and 2. None of our people know what the word Egypt means, so it's kind of hard to understand what that scripture's saying. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So what did God call Egypt? What did he just call Egypt? Okay, just to give me Deuteronomy 6 and 12, just to make sure that I'm showing you that he's calling Egypt bondage.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 12. Then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
God calls the word Egypt the house of bondage. It's another word for house of bondage is what? It's another word for bondage. Huh? Slavery, sis. Captivity. Bondage, meaning be locked up.
Yeah.
So, Deuteronomy 28:68 again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
What does Egypt mean? Bondage.
Again with ships.
How do we get over here? What kind of ships?
Slave ships.
Right, bondage. We came over here in bondage. I know, I agree. We are still in bondage. But that is how we know that we the Israelites. Did the so-called Jews over there go to slavery on slave ships at any time in their life? At any time in history did the so-called white man ever go into slavery on slave ships?
No.
Yeah.
He did? When did he go?
When he was having sex with our baby, he was kind of slavery too.
Huh?
Yeah,
The white man went to slavery on slavery. All right, James. Now, on the back of that flyer, at the bottom, we got our website.
Yes,
Everything's free on that, brother. You
it,
just
man.
go check it out. Now,
Thank you, man. All right.
you said that.
To me, they was kind of in slavery.
No, were they in, like? Did they get whipped with whips? Did they get put in chains? Did they get put on slave ships, and then they go into another land and have to work as slaves? The white man did. When did this happen, sis?
Sometimes, like when they was getting caught with our women and stuff like that.
What? That never happened.
Yes, it did.
That never happened. It's never in history has the white man. Watch this. Keep on.
White
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
So the white man got sold to another nation?
they get sold now.
White people are getting sold to who? What? They getting sold to Africans? White people are getting sold to Africans, sister. Has anybody ever heard this? Where's this history at that you showing me? I gotta see this history.
No, I'm talking about right now, today. Like
Where are they getting sold as slaves to?
every day. Chinese people getting sold. Everybody getting sold as slaves. It don't matter.
As a whole nation, the whole nation of China has gotten sold as slaves.
They have some slaves in China that's doing it in the workshop.
That's not slavery, sis.
That's slavery.
That is not slavery. That's child labor laws.
No, that's a type of slavery.
They getting paid for that.
It's still slavery.
No, it's not. Slavery means you ain't getting paid.
We got paid.
No, we didn't.
We got cotton.
We got cotton. We didn't get cotton. Sister, I'm sorry, sis. That did not happen to us. You got to go back and learn your history. We didn't get paid a dime for the 400 years of work that we did.
No.
That didn't happen to anybody else.
Well, I'm saying like my grandmother, she was old, like, and she saying she got paid.
after 1865 she got paid. It's called the Emancipation Proclamation. But the 400, the 200 something years before that, we did not get paid.
But I don't
Okay, I would love to see that because that's not historically accurate. I believe she did, but your grandma wasn't alive before 1865, was she? Okay, I understand that. I agree. I'm gonna tell you something. In Mississippi, they were working for pennies until 1971 on cotton. They were picking cotton, and all the way up to like 1971. So I do believe, but they was getting like these giant.
But my grandmother and my great-great auntie, she lived to be like 104, and she was explaining to us that she got paid, and she was a child of one of the masters. Like they was, they inbred.
I understand that, sis.
And
But that was after 1865. Before you gotta read and understand about the Emancipation Proclamation.
I didn't say a date. We didn't.
But you can't sit here and say that they were. You gotta understand the dates. After 1865, we were freed, so-called freed. So before that, like technically, that type of slavery, hard bonded slavery, had supposedly had ended in 1865. So everybody got paid for their work after 1865. We talking about before 1865. From before 1865 all the way to 1492, none of our people were getting paid for what they were doing.
But what I'm saying is, like, I understand what you're saying, but all I'm saying is, like, I really haven't talked about time. I'm just saying, like,
I did ask you about time. I said, has any other nation of people went into slavery on slave ships, and have they had to be slaves? No, that never happened.
But I really appreciate this. And
Okay. All right, sister. You have a good day. So, read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again,
Bondage.
with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen,
Slave man.
and bondwomen,
Slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
No man should save you. So unfortunately, a lot of our people don't know history. So sometimes you're trying to show them what happened to them as a people in the Bible, because they haven't been taught proper history in school. They can't identify what's going on. That's what you're seeing today in the Texas Instruments. They're trying to take away the word slavery from the books. We had a sister fighting against the Texas Instruments books because they were trying to take out the word slave and say that we came here as workers or something like that. But we weren't getting paid.
So the section that we find that map in is, let's see, it's on page 126, is under this section called Patterns of Immigration. Patterns of Immigration. You see, it says one of the defining attributes of the United States is that it is largely a country of immigrants and their descendants. About 13% of the people in the United States are foreign-born, while Native Americans, Alaska Natives, and Native Hawaiians make up 2% of the population. The remaining population is descended from immigrants. Immigrants. Yeah, that word matters. Immigrants. The Atlantic slave trade between the 1500s and the 1800s brought millions of workers from Africa to the southern United States to work on agricultural plantations. So it is now considered immigration. And these are some other sections that sort of talk about the pattern of immigration. This section here in particular talks about English and European peoples, many of whom came as indentured servants to work for little or no pay. So they say that about English and European people, but there is no mention of Africans working as slaves or being slaves. It just says we were workers. So that's for you all who asked about this book. Again, it is World Geography by McGraw-Hill. So, yeah.
And I just heard the sister say that the white man went to slavery on slave ships. He never went to slavery on slave ships. Ever. No other nation has ever went to slavery on slave ships in history. You can't find that. But that's the reason why Esau is a cunning man.
Yeah, white people, I can't wait till we get to whip y'all and change y'all name. It's gonna be a good ass day. Fire! What's your name? Steve! Because you know white people are fighting. What's your name? Steve! They get one of them big burly brothers. Blah! Shaka!
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.